say you should try to find yourself.
Let's think about forgiveness of the past, courage for the present, and hope for the future. Good way to look at things, isn't it? Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. Most important thing, this is your body. This is your body. Do what's right for it, as the bottom of the screen says. Do what is right for your body. If something hurts, it's not meant for you. If something hurts, no big deal. Let it go. It's just yoga. It's just Yoga Plus. Today's practice is Yoga Plus. And what we do in Yoga Plus is we take yoga and we add plus, barre, plus Pilates, plus weights. We do a lot of things. In fact, we're doing about 50 poses today, depending upon how you count, depending upon how many you do. There's about 50 different movements. So that's a lot. It's a 1 hour long practice. We practice every single day, live, start to finish. Mistakes and everything are included, no edits. It's just real, like a real class and like real life. So join us every single day for each practice, which is different. And each practice, one may challenge you more than the other, but the thing is you modify it. You modify it to make it work for your body. Doesn't matter how your poses look. That's one of the nice things of practicing at home. Nobody's looking at you. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Don't think, oh my gosh, I gotta go into a handstand because that guy's in a handstand. There's always that one guy. But doing it from home, you do it your way. Don't worry about anything. All you got nearby are your dogs and your cats and your pets, and perhaps a reluctant spouse, but get that spouse on the mat too. All right, so Yoga Plus. You need some props. You might want to have a chair nearby. You might want to be near a wall. They're great practicing partners. A little eye shade and a hand towel is great. A strap, we're going to use that. Maybe get the strap from your belt, from your belt, or your strap from or your belt from a robe. That would work too. This is a little ball. It's called a slow-mo ball. You can also get a bender ball. They're just balls that are squishy that you don't inflate much. It creates an unstable surface. If you don't have it, don't sweat it. Do the practice without it, and then maybe get one another time. Hand weights, your strap, and your 2 yoga blocks. Grab your strap and let's come on up to a standing position. All right, in your standing position, let's talk about this for a second. We always mention a stress number. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever scale you want to take, rate your stress right now. Give it a number. Don't sweat it. Don't think, oh my gosh, what do I need to consider? Pick a number. Are you stressed out? Give yourself an 8. Are you pretty calm? Give yourself a 2. But we're going to work on bringing that number down, and exercise does that. The movements in your body, the yoga, all these practices, all these poses work to make your head better, and that's important. All right, take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Just sigh it out. No big deal. Now, your strap, you got it in your hands, but don't worry about it for right now. Take your feet about hip width distance apart, or maybe a little bit wider. Let's take that confidence stance. Put your hands on your hips, drive your elbows toward the back of the room, feel your chest lift up to the sky. You can have a chair nearby, and your hand could be on that for balance. All you're gonna do is focus down there on your foundation, on your feet. So just come on up to the balls of your feet. Now here's an important little thing to consider. Your ankles, you want to strengthen them too. You want to have strong ankles. You want to keep your ankles behind your feet. You don't want to pronate or supinate. You don't want to splay your feet out to the side or kind of knock knee them in. You want to try to keep the heel right behind the center of your foot as best you can. Lift and lower. Nice straight posture, elbows are back and down, shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears, and you're just rising up onto the balls of your feet. Maybe take it a little bit longer and hold the rise up on the balls of the feet for a second or two, or not at all. And then rock on back. Come down to your heel and give your toes a little wiggle. Lift them up and just, move underneath your feet. Hopefully you don't have shoes on. You're at home, try to practice without the shoes. Then you can really kind of dig your toes into the mat and really feel the strength here. All right, when you're ready, plant your feet, your foundation's solid, adjust your stance so you're really comfortable. Just grab your strap. I've got mine folded over a couple times. Lift it on up to the sky. So you got a little bit of a Y in your arms. Think like extended mountain when we lift our arms up, up, up to the sky. I'm gonna walk my hands in a little bit more and kind of pull the strap a little bit to the sides of the room. Lengthen up through your hands. Feel the lengthening in your torso. Lengthen up. Think extended mountain here, pulling the strap to the sides of the room. Now just add in some little baby back bends, lean on back, and then some forward folds. As you fold forward, let the strap come towards the earth. Maybe your gaze goes back towards your belly button, and rise on up. You know, do what feels right here. Some forward folds, and some little baby back bends. Keep that strap nice and tight, nice and strong. You just feel more confident with it, a little stronger. Keeping the tension in the arms. Fold forward, breathe out. Inhale on up, baby back bend. Come back to the midline of your body. Now let's go sideways. Right to left, left to right. Keep the tension on the strap. Just our little warm up to wake up our spine. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth, let the tension go. It's just yoga, no big deal. But movement, every little bit of movement is so beneficial. All right, come on back up to the midline of your body. Arms reach high to the sky. Now let your arms come, because we're gonna come into a chair position. Let the arms come parallel to each other, sink down into your knees. You can stay on your heels, send your bottom back, back, back to the back of the room. Pull on that strap, maybe move your hands in a little bit. Hold on here. Little teeny pulses up and down. Wake up your thighs. Good morning, thighs. Oh my goodness. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Challenge yourself a little bit. Maybe come on up to the toes and maybe pulse, pulse, pulse. You could have your hands on that chair if you want, on the back of the chair. That's fine too. We're just waking up, moving, feeling good, getting into our day. As you're ready, let's finish here. Come on up to standing. Whew. Oh my goodness. Open up your strap more. Open it up more. And you know how sometimes we do, you will look taller. We're going to do that today. Send your arms into like the shape of a letter Y. Hold on to that strap though. Zip your legs up so they're comfortable. They don't have to be totally touching, but just come in closer. Lengthen up here. Pull the strap to the sides of the room and let your arms work a little bit toward the back of the room. Let the arms work forward. So nice and tight in the strap. Working the strap down, pulling the strap to the sides of the room. Maybe widen the strap a little bit more. Take it up again. And maybe bring it behind your back, maybe a little bit lower. Maybe a bend in the elbows feels good. You don't have to bring it all the way back. Do what feels good in your shoulders. Strap forward, strap back. Forward and back a few times, and it helps to widen the spread of your arms here. Breathe, breathe. You put a little bend in your knees if you like, if that feels good. Take the tension off of the knees, feeling it in the shoulders. And if this doesn't work for you, just gently tee out your arms with no strap and draw some little circles on the sides of the room with your fingertips. All right, let's finish up here with this movement. Bring your strap, hold it a little bit closer. And you know how we do our big coat swing? Let's do the same thing, but you got the strap and the arm that's in the back, give it a little extra tug when you're twisting. Turn to the other side and twist and a little tug. Don't go fast, go nice and slowly. Look over your shoulder, keep the tension on the arms. Time under tension, let it feel good. Turn to each side, look over the shoulder, little tight tug of that strap. And breathe. Like I said, we've got like 50 movements today. All right, so here's the word to think about. Your word of the day is challenges. Challenges are a call to attention, a call to engage. So engage. Engage your muscles, feel what you feel. Pull that strap a little tighter. Feel your biceps engage. All right, there you go. Accept the challenges. All right, let's come back to the midline of your body. You can ditch the strap now. You can place it down. We're going to do ragdoll next. Same old ragdoll that you're used to. Feels good to decompress the low back. Hands like those I Dream a Genie arms, feet about hip width distance apart. Hinge forward. Put a little bend in your knees. Let the crown of your head hang toward the earth. Your head is heavy, 8 to 12 pounds. Shake it, loosen it up. Let it be pulling toward the earth. Little bend in your knees. How do you like it? Maybe a little more of a bend in your knees. Now start to wiggle the hips. And then as you're ready, bring one elbow back toward one knee, then the other elbow back toward the other. Breathe, sigh it out, let it go. You're loosening your low back here. If you have back trouble, this is a great pose. Let it be, have fun with it. All right, there's your gentle little warm-up. Maybe you stay doing your ragdoll pose a little bit longer. That's totally fine. But I'm gonna come to the midline of my body. I'm gonna release my fingers toward the earth. I'm gonna let it feel super good here as I tuck my chin more toward my chest and soften in the arms, letting my fingers come toward the earth. Take a deep breath in. And a big sighing breath out as you bend your knees and come on down to your child's pose. All right, child's pose. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels, arms down by your sides. You can use a block to bring the ground up to you. Rest here. Arms are down by your sides, shoulders away from the ears. Child's pose, rest here. The option for another variation of this child's pose is to spread your knees wide. I'm going to take both blocks to the top of my mat. Knees spread wide, hips go back to the heels. I'm going to put my hands on the blocks. You don't have to. You could put your hands on the mat, reaching toward the top of the mat so the arms are extended. Adding in the blocks just takes that rotation of the shoulders a little bit deeper. And because we did that rotation of the arms, big rotation of the arms with the strap, this feels a little more doable today. We've warmed up and come into it. Send your hips back toward your heels. Maybe grab those blocks and scoot them a little higher to the top of the mat as your forehead is on the mat and you press into your hands. Press into your hands either onto the block or onto the mat. Just feel the nice stretch into your armpits. Breathe in. Breathe out. Here's where you can engage your Ujjayi pranayama breath. That's breathing through your nose only. Close your lips if you like and hear the sound of your voice. Hear the sound of your breath deep in your throat. Breathe in. Breathe out. With each exhale, take it good and deep and feel the extent of the stretch at the bottom of that exhale. Child's pose, come back to it anytime you like. It's your yoga, it's your practice, you do it your way. I'm gonna come out of that child's pose and I'm gonna bring my forearms down to the mat and I'm gonna move my knees so they're comfortable. Just adjust and think puppy pose. Maybe start with the block. Put the block under your chest. So you know how puppies, when they have a ball and they wanna come and run up to you, they plant their arms and they send their tail high to the sky and wag their tail. Kind of the same thing here. Put your forearms down. Try to work your chest down to that block. Adjust your legs so you can do that. Adjust the legs. Send your bottom up toward the sky like a dog when they're really happy and wagging their tail. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe you decide to remove that block. You know, we've talked about half-size blocks that are a little smaller. Maybe you go down to that. Or maybe you take your chest all the way down to the ground. Scoot your arms forward, move your legs so you can do that. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's come out of this pose. Send your hands underneath your shoulders. Send your feet, your knees underneath your hips, and let's go into a forearm stretch. To do this one, you're gonna, from your neutral tabletop, you're going to bring your forearms forward, facing the front of the mat as your fingers reach toward your knees. Move your hips a little bit because you can. And just feel this stretch in your forearms, in the front of your forearms. And then bring your bottom back toward your heels, move it left to right. Just feel that good stretch in the forearm. Breathe in, breathe out. Of course, just enjoy it. Don't stress over it. And when you're ready, Let's finish. Bring your hands back to the front. Sit back on your heels. Wiggle your fingers. Just get those tingles out of the forearms. All right, let's do a toes pose. For your toes pose, several ways you can do it. You're standing on your knees. Tuck your toes to your shins. Have a seat on your heels or have a seat on your block. Stay here for just a few seconds. Sometimes we flow this. Today we're going to take them separately, just one at a time. All right, so you can sit on the block. If it's too intense, if it's painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, hang with it. Take a deep breath in and a shoulder softening breath out. Maybe the eyes are closed. Shoulders more over the hips, intensifies it a little bit. If it's too much, hinge a little forward. Take your arms now, bring your hands behind your low back, interlace your fingers and press your thumbs into your bottom. So your shoulders are back and down away from the ears. You're pressing your thumb into your back, thumbs, plural, into your backside, squeezing the shoulders to the back of the room as you feel your chest open up. Breathe in, breathe out. This is the same arm position we do for so many poses. For that humble warrior pose, for toppling tree, we put our arms in this position too. Soften in your toes. It sounds silly, doesn't it? But just kind of let it go. Let the tension in the toes go. We're not going to be here much longer. See how much you can release in the toes. And just breathe. All right, let's come out of it now. Hinge forward, remove your arms from behind your back, and then bend your feet, extend your feet so your toes are going to the back of the mat now, and sit on back onto your heels. Sit on back, use your hands to walk on back. Walk your hands on back and then sit on the tops of your feet. Keep your knees together. They tend to want to pop apart like in dancer pose. They tend to want to pop apart, but just lean on back. Lean on back and stretch the ankles. How does that feel? All right, let's come out of it. So many poses to do today, but we're going to do them, and you're going to do them, and you're going to do them just fine. If you take it to just 10%, you're doing it great. All right, cat-cow. Neutral tabletop. Knees under shoulders, wrists under, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. That's it. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Push into the earth. Exhale, chin to chest, tailbone tucks under, arch your back. As you take a big inhale, cow pose, just the opposite. Crown of the head lifts and tailbone lifts. Do a few cat-cows, looking like a cat, arching its back, and looking like a cow, looking up to the sky with that saggy back. Press into the earth, cat-cow. Do it your way to the extent that feels comfortable for you. When you exhale, you want to be in cat, because as you exhale and you're pulling your belly button toward your spine, you can get more of a curve here. Inhale, cow, just the opposite. Let's come to a neutral tabletop if you like. Lift your right leg up, and it's time for a little bar. Draw your toes toward your shins and pulse the heel toward your bottom. Align your hips so both are equal distance to the mat, and just pulse. Pulse, pulse. Little teeny movements like you're kicking yourself in the bottom. Do you like that? Keep it up if you do. If you don't like it, do it less so. Just lift the leg up, knee to about hip height, and hold it. But I'm going to pulse. Little movements. Sending the juice to the knee. Oh my goodness. Feeling good. Getting the synovial fluid moving. When you're ready, let's do cat, pulling its tail. Press into the earth with your right hand. Left arm reaches around and captures the foot. Kick the foot into the hand, and as you're looking at your right thumb, take your gaze to the left side of your mat, maybe to the left side of your room. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist, maybe look to your shoulder. Breathe, kick harder into that back foot. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, you're back to a neutral tabletop. Lift the left leg up, knee to hip height. Start to kick yourself in the bottom. Breathe. Dial your left hip down a little bit. You don't want it popping up too much. You want to stay in control here. Kick, kick, kick. Or don't kick. Lift the knee a little higher. You know, the knee probably has to go a little bit higher. It looks like it's high enough, but bring it higher. Kick, kick. Little pulses of the heel toward the bottom. Wake up the knees. When you're ready, maybe the right hand reaches around and captures the left foot. Kick into the hand and turn to the right a little bit or a lot. Your call. Cat pulling the tail. Look over the shoulder as best you can. and then finish. Foot comes down, knee comes down. Let's find the ball. Let's do a fire hydrant pose. Take the ball, place it behind your right knee from the neutral tabletop. Squeeze the ball. If you don't have it, you can still do this without the ball. Draw the toes toward the shin and start to lift the right leg to the side of the room. So like a dog on a fire hydrant, right? Get into the hips. Breathe. Little refinements here. Maybe you bring the knee higher, being mindful of keeping the right hip down. You don't want to pop it open too much. You want to keep the hips equidistant. Lift and lower. Perhaps bring the ankle a little higher than the knee. Up and down. There you go. There's your fire hydrant pose. Let's take it to the other side. Bring the knee down. Place the ball behind the other knee. Neutral tabletop. Toes of the leg draw toward the knee. Lift the leg and then lift it to the side. Lift and lower in your fire hydrant pose. Little dogs are good. Big dogs are just as good. One's not better than the other. You take it to how you like it. Lift and lower. Let it feel right. Maybe you lift a little higher. Maybe you bring the ankle a little higher. And when you're ready, let's bring the left knee down to meet the right. Remove the ball to the top of the mat. Spread your knees wide. Hips back to the heels. Ball under the hands. Push into the ball. Lengthen through the arms. Stretch and enjoy that nice stretch in your backside. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's go back at it again. Let's do donkey kick. All right, come on back to your neutral tabletop. Ball behind the right knee. In that neutral tabletop again. Lift your knee up, up, up. Knee to about hip height. Bring it a smidge higher. And then start to pulse the leg in. The heel is pulsed in, toward your bottom. Stay strong here. Push equal weight into your hands. And then squeeze that ball good and tight towards your bottom and then pulse the entire leg, your foot, up to the ceiling. As if you're stomping on the ceiling. Keep your hips equidistant to the mat. Breathe, breathe. You got it, don't quit. Hold on. Ooh, a bar practice is so effective. Those little pulses, just burn, baby, burn. All right. Let's hover the right knee next to the left. Place the right knee down next to the left. Other side. Place the ball behind the other knee. When you're ready, lift the left leg. Bring the knee to about hip height. Little kicks of your bottom. And if you don't have the ball, that's fine. It's just not as much fun, I think. Just pulsing your heel towards your bottom. Not as much fun. The ball makes it kind of fun. It's kind of bouncy. But you also kind of always keeping it under tension because you just subconsciously don't want that ball to fall out. So you're always keeping it under tension. So it kicks your practice up a notch while making it fun. All right, squeeze the ball good and tight. Check out your hips and then pulse the foot up to the sky. Breathe, breathe. Pulse it up. Kick it up. Left hip, keep it dialed down just a little bit, and you'll feel more intensity here. Breathe. How are you doing with these pulses? All right, are we ready? Let's finish up. Hover the left knee next to the right. Plant the left knee on the ground, remove the ball. Let's go back to that wide-legged child's pose. Think of it as kind of like a little break in your practice. Knees spread wide, big toes touch, hips go back nice and slowly to your heels. Oh, that feels good. Put your hands on the ball. Stretch it out. Try to move the ball farther forward. Or no ball. Remember, you can do it without any props. Reach your hands good and long and strong to the top of the mat. Push into your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, let's come out of this pose. You can take a drink of water if you want, and then let's go into plank. We do a 1-minute plank in just about every practice, especially today because we're building strength, right? All right, so you can do a 1-minute plank. Now, if you're new to planking, You can lie flat down on the ground, take your blocks and push them up to the sky, or no blocks at all. Just imagine that the ceiling is the ground, and you're gonna do your plank there. Another way to do it, I'm gonna come to standing, and I'm gonna show you another way you can do this, up against your wall. All right, I'm gonna do this wall. If you're new to planking, just, ease into it. No stress, no stress. This is your yoga zone. All right, so step away from your wall, place your hands on the wall, lean forward into the wall, and just find a little bit of strength here in your arms. Find a little bit of give here in your arms. There you go. Do it that way. The way I'm gonna do it today, join me if you'd like to come to an extended mountain pose. That's with your arms lifted high. Lift them up. I'm gonna do a walking plank. I'm gonna go from extended mountain to a forward fold, walk out to a plank, hold it, then walk back, and then come on up again. Setting the timer for 1 minute. Are you ready? Let's go. I'm gonna go this side. How's that? All right, let's go. Setting the timer, 1 minute. Extended mountain if you like, or you're pressing into the wall. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward. Come into a high plank. You know this one, it's the starting position of our Chaturanga Dandasana. Hold it for a second or two. You decide, push the earth away. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Then walk the hands back to meet the feet, or the feet to meet the hands. Sweep the arms up. Extended mountain. Exhale. Hands through prayer center. Walk it out. Now you can go faster, you can go slower. You do what you like. Breathe, then walk it. You do what you like. This is a very real functional pose, right? I mean, you gotta reach, you gotta stretch. You can see we've got 20 seconds left, so not much longer. Walking it out to come down to the ground, holding, pressing your body weight against the earth, walking it back, rising on up, extended mountain. We're at 5 seconds. I'm gonna do it again. One more time. High plank, and walk it back. Extended mountain, reach and stretch. You got it. Good work. Let's come down to our mat. Let's do some core things. Warmed up? Feel good? Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna do Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups, but I'm gonna put the ball under my feet. You can have nothing at all. You can put the block under your feet, or you can put the ball under your feet. Here's the deal though. Bend your knees, soles of your feet touch. Take your ball, and I'm gonna place it under my feet. Now here's the deal with the ball. The ball slows you down. The ball slows you down because you gotta keep balancing on it. And so as you slow down, it makes these Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups like a bar practice, those gentle pulses holding onto the core. All right, if you don't have the ball or you're under a block, come to fully reclined. Fingertips lightly to your temples, and then gently sit up. If your feet are on the ball today, we're gonna go right, left, center. That's a fun game. We're gonna go right, left, center, but we're gonna start center. Okay, so lean on back a little bit. Pinky edge side of your feet are on the ball. Reach toward the front of your room. Palms can touch or not. Just reach. Reach. Oh my goodness. Got to take it slow because you're counting on your core, but when you try to push into the ground, this ground is unstable with this ball here. So you're really making the core work. So there's center. Let's go right. So your hands are going to surround that right knee. And you're going to lift and lower to what's comfortable for you. If you're doing your classic Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups, you can peel your shoulders up. Fingertips lightly at your temples, and pulse. Just pulse with the shoulders lifted. That's a nice little variation too. I'm gonna come back to center, just kind of regroup here with a couple of pulses back at center. Then I'm gonna take my arms to surround my left knee. Little lifts, little lowers. Oh yeah. How do you like it under the ball? It is a challenge, isn't it? All right. We're gonna do a Pilates pose. We're going to do a Pilates bicycle next. All right, so let's finish here. Come back to center. Always wanna come back to center, right? And when you're ready, let's finish. Come on up, remove the ball from underneath your feet. That's not easy, is it? All right, a Pilates bicycle. Now, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, check with your doctor. You don't want to rock and roll on your spine. A lot of this stuff you probably don't want to do unless you get your doctor's approval. All right, so here's the deal. Let's do our Pilates bicycle. To do that, just start to rock and roll back and forth. Think of when you were a kid doing somersaults, right? You can have your hands down by your sides. Rock on your spine a little or a lot. And maybe that's what you end up doing. I'm gonna send my legs up, up, up to the sky, toes point up toward the sky, and then start to ride a bicycle here. Hands are supporting the hips, chin is tucked to the chest, bicycle. Have fun with your Pilates bike. All right, there you go. Let's finish this. Rock on down. Come on up to seated. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bend your knees again. This time, place the outsoles of your feet on the mat. Open up your knees wide. Little teeny frog crunches. Come to recline. Take it nice and slowly. You're in control. All the way down. Frog crunches. Bring your heels closer up toward your groin. Fingers lightly to your temples. Let's do it again. Lift your chin up to the sky and pulse. 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 Knees are open wide. Chin is lifted. Now, reach your arms in between the legs. Reach, reach, reach to the right knee. Reach, reach, reach. Back to center for a few, then left. And reach, and reach, and reach. You got it. Come on down, fully reclined, legs go long, arms high overhead, stick pose. Point your toes, reach your fingers, you look like a big number 1. Slide your arms as you exhale down by your sides. Get your legs nice and comfortable. Let's do Pilates 100s. All right, lift your arms up. Thank you, Joseph Pilates, for these poses. Act as if you're patting the ground, little by little. Peel the shoulders up, hold them here. Lift the legs up a little bit. Put either the legs down or the shoulders down or whatever works for you. Perhaps shoulders and arms and legs are all lifted as you pat the ground maybe 100 times or close to it. It doesn't matter. You do what's right for you. Shoulders away from the ears. Legs lifted a little higher or lower. Breathe. Oh, your core is engaged. Good and strong. You got it going on. Breathe. How are you doing? I don't know if you want to count. Totally up to you. I think you need to do what's right for you. Don't worry about the counting. And as you're ready, let's finish here. Come on down, stretch it out again. Your big number 1, stick pose. Circle your ankles right, circle your ankles left. Let it be. When you're ready, let's float on up to a standing position. Can you let the arms come down by your sides? And can you peel your shoulders up and come on up to seated? All right, so flip around. Let's do our downward facing dog. All right. Hands on your mat, toes tucked to your shins or toes tucked under, and your feet slightly lifted, feet hip width distance apart. Shake your neck, walk the dog. Pedal it out, get back to your foundation. Come high onto the ball of one foot while stretching the other foot in the opposite direction. Go the other way as well. Breathe. Shake your neck. Finish up, still your feet. You're in your downward facing dog now. Let's walk our feet to our hands or our hands to our feet. You decide how you want it to be. Lift on up, halfway lift, back is long and straight, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward again, drawing your gaze towards your knees. Take your hands to your calves and fold a little bit deeper. You got it. Inhale, arms sweep up, tree pose. Lengthen up through extended mountain. Bring your hands to a prayer center position. All right, so hands are at prayer center. Let's do our tree pose. And we're gonna take it to toppling tree. Remember we talked about interlaced fingers? We'll do that. All right, here's the deal. Stand here, feet solidly rooted, hands at prayer center, weight out of one leg or the other, open that foot, open that knee to the side of the room, place that heel inside the foundational leg. Have a chair nearby if that feels good for you. Maybe bring the sole of the foot a little higher or higher up into the thigh. Now the thing you don't want to do, if you fall out, get back in. It's no big deal. We all fall out. All right, push the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Don't put the foot on the knee. Soften the hips. Make them equidistant to the front of the room. Let the bent knee soften toward the earth. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up as you grow your branches to the sky. Now, here's a bit of a challenge. Bring your hands behind your low back and interlace your fingers there. Press your thumbs into your bottom, lift your chest up. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Take a big step forward with that foot And then hinge forward into that leg. Little bend in your knee, feels good. Lift your back leg up and work your interlaced fingers away from your back. Look down to your toes or your knee. Lift the back leg up, lift your arms high to the sky as best you can. You fall out, no big deal. Embrace those little wiggles in your toes. And then left foot meets right. Hands back to prayer center. Other side. Root through the other leg. Weight out of the other. Open it up. Hands in prayer. Maybe the chair is nearby. It's all good. It's all good. Breathe. Lift the foot up, maybe a little higher. Just try that today. See how that is. Focus forward. Look forward at something that's not moving. Really helps you find your stability. Focus where the ceiling and the wall meet. Press your foot into your leg and your leg into the foot. Lengthen up. Grow a branch or two. Hold it here. Maybe you're holding the chair. That's good. Float your arms on down. You really got to focus. Don't look at the TV. Let your arms focus down. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. When you're ready, send those interlaced fingers up the back wall while bringing the knee of the left foot forward. Step it forward. And as you step it forward with that left foot, get solid here. Hinge forward and weight into the left leg. Right leg lifts and your arms work up the back wall up toward the ceiling. Embrace the wiggles in the toes. Lift the leg higher, lift the arms higher. Finish. Right foot meets left. Whew, let the arms go. Good job. Nice challenge. Now spread your legs wide. Challenges aren't done. Spread your legs good and wide. All right, legs are spread wide. Pinky toes toward the small sides of your mat. Bring your arms to the shape of a letter X. Your body's in like the shape of the X. Wiggle your fingers, lift your chest. Tee out your arms, hinge forward. As you hinge forward, capture your calves when you get nice and low. Look between your legs, pull with your strong arms on your calves. Rise on up, hands to prayer center. Bring your heels in a little bit, kind of the opposite of being pigeon-toed. Bend your knees over your ankles. Sit wide, not real attractive, but it is a great pose. All right, so you're strengthening the inner thighs. Act as if you're riding a big old Clydesdale horse. Hands to prayer center, pop on up to the balls of the feet, and pulse, and pulse. And you knew the pulsing was coming. Pulse. Now you don't have to be on the balls of your feet. Maybe your feet are down, maybe that feels right. Pulse, pulse, pulse. We got weights coming up next. You got it, you can do this. Alternate, heel. Touchdowns. Come up high onto the ball of the feet and sink even lower. Alternate, heel, touchdowns. Come up high on the balls of the feet, sink lower. One more time and pulse here. Pulse, pulse. Whew. Let's finish here. Feet come down, capital letter X. Wiggle your hips, bring one foot to meet the other. Arms high overhead. There you go. Arms float down, grab your weights. All right. With your hand weights. Maybe you got 2 water bottles today. It's all good. It's all good. All right, comfortable stance. Weights to your shoulders. Lift them up overhead. Lift. Palms are inward. Lift and lower and maybe alternate lifting. And your weights, whatever size weights you want. These are 3 pounds. I think these are 3. Yeah, these are 3. Maybe you're doing 2 water bottles. Maybe you're doing 8 pounds. You go. Lift and lower. You got it. Lift and lower. Now tee out your arms. Pulse your arms in, or flex your arms in. Into the shoulders and out. In and out. Keep your elbows at shoulder height and breathe. Oh yeah, breathe. All right. How are you doing? You can alternate arms here. Maybe turn your neck in one direction then the other. Back to center. Turn the head. Breathe. You do what feels super good in your strong upper body, in your shoulders, working on good posture here. All right, let's bring these weights. No rest for the weary. Bring them down by your sides. Flip your palms so they're face in. Put your knees a little bit and then start to do bicep curls. Just gentleness in the knees, you know, soft. Don't lock them out. I think we get tense in other parts of our bodies when we're working another one because we're just kind of, don't over tense it. Don't Stress the knees out. You can alternate your lifts here and your bicep curls, but pick up the pace. You got it. We're not going to be here long. There's your bicep curls. Let's do some triceps. Back of the arms. Let's do some tricep kick backs. Arms down by your sides. Now put a bigger bend in your knees. So think of the drinking bird pose. You know that one. So just come down a little bit, little bounce in the knees. Draw the weights. Palms are face in towards your outer hips. Bend your elbows, bringing the weights up towards your armpits, and then release them on down. And when you release them on down, bring them to the back wall. So they come down, they go toward the back wall. Now you can pop on up to your balls of your feet. You can sink a little lower in the bottom, keeping your chest forward. Sending these weights a little bit back to the back wall. Now send them back there and hold them and pulse them to the back wall. Pulse the weights to the back wall. Now send them really far to the back wall and then pulse them in towards your spine, towards your low back, towards your bottom. Breathe. You got it. Maybe sink a little lower. Hold it here. You're strong. Come on back up to standing. Let the weights rest by your sides. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. Serve at the tray. Bring your arms forward and pulse the hands up a little bit. Let's serve cocktails to the adults at this nice high level. And if you'd like, bend your knees and serve sparkling water to the teenagers. They're probably taller than the adults. And then sink all the way down and serve cookies to the little kids. There you go. Let's come on up all the way. Adults, standing, teens, midway, keep pulsing. Little kids, all the way down. Work those knees. Come on up. One more time. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Adults, midway. How low can you go? Low, low, low. Stay here. Breathe. When you're ready, let's come on up to standing. Your weights, we'll ditch them. All right, place them down. It's your choice. You can stand. We're gonna do You Will Look Taller. You can stand up or you can do it on the mat. If you wanna do it on the mat, come down flat onto your back and do the exact same thing we're gonna do standing. All right, bring your legs together. Arms go high overhead. Press the backs of your hands to the back wall, or if you're lying down, they get pressed into the mat. You, bring your arms into a letter W. Will, squeeze in the backs of those hands. Further down, further back is the key. You will look, 2 L's, forward and back. T for taller, pulse them out. Let's do it again. You will look taller, pulse them out. One more time. You will look, T for taller, pulse them out. Now, let your arms float down by your sides. Just shoulders away from the ears. Feel how good your upper back feels. Feel the strength and the good posture that you're developing. All right, let's come back to our mat. Take a big step forward. If you're on your mat already, we're gonna get ready for a lunge. So get positioned for a lunge. I'm gonna step my right foot forward. I'm gonna come on down to my back left knee. I'm gonna use my blocks. I'm gonna walk my right toes forward, right knee over right ankle. Push the blocks into the ground, send the left leg good and long. You can stay right here. Feel the good stretch in your left hip. Shoulders perhaps a little more over your hips. Arms perhaps reach high. If you're reaching high through the arms, press both feet hard into the ground. Top of the left foot, bottom of the right. Maybe take a little back bend. Maybe hands back to prayer center as your shoulders come over your hips. Hands back down to the blocks or no blocks at all. And start to straighten the right leg as you surf here. All right, does the back knee ail you? Does that not feel good? Well, put a towel underneath it. Do you feel like you don't have good balance? Use the blocks to walk your hips back to your heel. Find the right movement for you. Use the blocks, use the towels, use whatever props speak to you. So back and forth, straightening the right leg, bending the right leg. Find the movement that feels perfect for you today. Let's finish. Come back to standing on your knees. Let the right knee come down. Let the left foot come forward. Left knee over left ankle. Right leg goes long and strong and straight all the way back. Press into your blocks, hips or shoulders a little higher if you want. Hands to prayer center if you want. Maybe that's the evolution of your pose today. Maybe the arms go up, push the feet into the mat. It makes a difference. A little subtle arm movement to the back of the room. Hands back to prayer center. Hands back to the blocks or nothing at all. Start to straighten that left leg. Everything else will take care of itself. Maybe you straighten the left leg, coming back onto the heel, having a seat on your bottom. Breathe. Back and forth we go. All right. Using the blocks or no blocks. Your core is strong. You've done a lot with it today. Make it work for you. Strong core is the key to getting around and keeping your mobility going. All right. Are you ready to finish this? All right, nice job. Let's turn around. You've surfed. Let's come onto our back and do bridge. Once in your bridge pose, for your bridge, grab your weights. Lean on back, come on back, all the way to your back. Soles of your feet are down. Press your hips up to the sky. Maybe place the weights on your hips. Lift and lower here. Lift and lower in your bridge with these weights on your hips. Now, don't have the weights, no big deal. Press your arms down by your sides. Lift and lower as you're pressing hard into your feet. Breathe. Maybe wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Using the weights or not, lift and lower in your bridge. Let's finish. Lift them high. One really good high part. Push into the feet. Lift your hips good and high. Remove the blocks. You can go a little bit higher. Arms down by your sides, let your spine come down one vertebra at a time. Keep your belly button tucked to your spine. Once you're all the way down, extend your arms and legs long. Stretch it out, stick pose. Now roll it over onto your belly. Keep your stick pose. Roll it over onto your belly. Arms are long, reaching to the top of your mat. Legs are long too. Superman and swimmer. Another great nod to Joseph Pilates. All right, chin is at the center of your mat. Maybe lift one leg or the other, just get that feeling. Feel the pelvis in the mat. Maybe lift both legs. Maybe lift one arm, then the other. Gaze down your nose. Think like you're Superman flying as you balance on your hips, you balance on your belly. Swimmer, kick your feet. Arms are just gonna move naturally. Kick, swim, swim. You got it. Breathe. Still your feet, but keep them lifted. Sweep your arms down by your sides. Palms face down. Fingers spread wide. Pinkies are towards your hip creases. Lift a little higher as you take your airplane pose. Hold it here. You got it. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands underneath your collarbones. Legs come down. Arms straighten. Press on up. Seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Come on up to seated. Find your two blocks. Extend your legs long. Reach. As you reach up to the sky, your blocks are nearby. Exhale, hands through prayer center. Fold forward, grab for your toes. Stretch out your low back. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Spread your legs good and wide. Soles of your feet are towards, toes are drawn towards your shins, so the soles of your feet are to the edges of your room. Blocks in between your legs, hinge forward here. Place your forehead on your blocks or maybe your forearms. Adjust your blocks so the height is right for you. Breathe. And then finish. Place a block or two at the top of your mat. I'm gonna put two today. Right at the top of the mat, off of the mat, right about there, wherever there is. All right, come on down to your bottom. Hands at prayer center. Recline all the way down. Once you're reclined, bend your knee, take the other leg, crisscross it, figure four over the opposite leg. Press the inner thigh open. Breathe. Your left leg, lift it up. Lift it up. Draw the left knee toward the chest. Maybe take your strap. Place your strap under your knee on the outside. And then hug the strap in. Hug it in as you drive the right knee to the outside or toward the bottom of your mat. Finish. Both legs come down. Right foot plants now on the mat. Other leg, left leg lifts. Outside of the left ankle on the thigh, press the inner left thigh open. Think of the outside of the knee of the left leg being like a magnet pushing to the wall. Lift the right foot up. Maybe that's enough challenge today. Or take your strap under the knee, hug it in good and tight. Hug it in. You got it. Finish up. Foot comes down. Other foot comes down. When you're ready, let's take the rock and roll pose again. And these blocks, that's what you're gonna aim your feet for. All right, so see if you like it. Sit on up, no hands if you can. Sit on up and start to rock back and forth. Legs go up, rock on your spine. Rock on your spine if you like. And when you're ready, hands come down, legs go up. Remember that Pilates bicycle we did? So send your legs high like a shoulder stand. Then let your feet come overhead and find those blocks. Maybe your toes find the blocks. Maybe you say, wow, ground's not so far away after all. Maybe you remove a block and go for the second one. Or no blocks at all. You do what works for you in this moment. Finish. Come on up, rock on up, you got it. Eye shade and towel. Go up toward the top of your mat. Come onto your right side, forearm parallel to the earth, hands on your hips. Lift on up out of your hips and then come on down. Lift up and come down. Is that working? All right, let's try something different. Straighten your legs and then send the hips up. Elbow is under your shoulder. Add in the left arm, lift it up and down. Up and reach to the front of the room. Bring it on up to the sky, bring the hips down. Let's switch to the other side. All right, start with your knees bent. Left forearm parallel to the earth, side of the earth. So you're like in a clamshell position. Start to pop the hips up. How's that? Maybe use your hand as a kickstand. Just lift your hips a little. Maybe you can straighten the legs and lift your hips even more. Maybe place your hand on your hips as you lift, or lift the arm up to the sky. Maybe lift and sweep it down. Lift and sweep it down. Lift and sweep it down. Lift and reach to the front of your room and hold it. And then finish. Hand comes back to your hip. Hips come down. Let's come to fully reclined. All right, so hands to prayer center. Come on back. Once you're all the way down, bend your knees up toward your armpits. Left knee towards your left armpit with the help of the left hand. Right knee does the same thing. Rock back and forth. Happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. Reach your hands inside your calves or inside your heels. Draw your toes towards your shins if you're like a frog here, or a little happy baby. You know how babies do that in their cribs? They grab their feet without even thinking about it. Send one foot straight to the sky while you bend the other knee. And alternate. There's your happy baby pose. Here's another nice thing for this pose. Release your heels, plant your feet down, and just rock from side to side, letting your knees fall from one side to the other like a deer pose. Give yourself a little back massage. Now finish. Legs go long. Arms down by your sides. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Palms face up. Shoulders wiggle towards your spine. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Soften your jaws. If your teeth are clenched, create a little space there. Let your eyes rest heavily in the eye sockets. Wiggle your hips and let your pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Let it go. Get back in touch with your breath. It's always there for you. Be mindful of it in this moment. Be present. Deep breath in and deep breath out. If you can stay longer, if you have that luxury, press the pause button on your video and come back to it when you're ready. If it's time for you to conclude your practice, take a deep, refreshing breath in and a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel refreshed. Appreciate the movement that you did. Move the movement up into your fingers and toes and your wrists and your ankles. Appreciate what you did. You moved a lot of different parts of your body today, and they'll serve you better as you go on with your day. Stretch it out, reach your arms high overhead, point your toes. First of the morning, good morning stretch. Maybe wiggle your hips and your shoulders, bend your knees and your elbows, roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Make your way up to seated. You did it. Crisscross your legs, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in. Big sign breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Forgiveness of the past, courage for the present, and hope for the future. And I hope to see you on your mats tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. Be consistent. Be persistent. Don't give up. You got this. See you next time. Bye. Hi. How are you? You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.